So I figured out a solution to my issues with the workplace, the issues of, people who run companies and the government pretending that they couldn't, only have people who are of a certain capacity of brain in the workplace. They gotta force people like me to be a fucking slave at work, right? I know it's some nice community thing for some people. They think it's nice to be out there doing something in their spare time. I didn't fucking think I got time for that at all in life, not even one fucking minute. I got things to do. I'm nearly dragged off to fucking shackles and chains and a whip, nearly, as if I'm a black person in the fucking 1800s or 1700s, you know what I mean? And the solution is, I'd tell the Chinese military, which is like probably 750 million people at least, maybe even 1 billion. If you look up the population of the Chinese on Google there, you'll figure out how large their military obviously is. Way larger than the American military or any other military ever could be. If you think Indians are some sort of competition for them, no, religiously an Indian person has to maintain friendliness. They could never grow a military the size of the Chinese military. There's no possible way that an Indian person could even do that. They just shit their pants and they eat too much fucking curry. That's all they do. Eat too much naan bread and shit their pants about curry. Literally, So here's the solution to the workplace. Since they didn't want to accept the fact that, how many fucking people around overpopulating any country in the world are a servant mentality. They don't even got a brain past fucking being a servant is all they thought of. They're mad that you're in their job, pretending you should be in the community, wasting time. You could have been watching Jerry Seinfeld on television, kind of a personality they are. And here the government and company owners think people like me should fucking act like I'm that person or some shit. I'm not that kind of a fucking actor. I could have been fucking doing acting in Hollywood compared to that shit. So what you do is you tell the Chinese military, right, that they need to bring back slavery like it's before the Civil War, They need to bring back slavery. Yeah, you heard me, I'm a fucking white person, and that's all I could think by this point in my life. I used to be multicultural, but no, I think they should bring back slavery of black people. They should make it Indian people as well, and they should make it homosexual people. All those people should be a fucking slave. They can do jobs in the fucking workplace. That's it, the fucking most logical thing you could even think. When company owners and government fucking employees don't want to accept the fact that people like me just deserve a government paycheck to fucking sit at home. And I don't do some fucking N-words job or whatever the fuck we're supposed to call it. Now, that's how I gave up on multiculturalism, except for white people. And I consider white people European people. I could barely consider it a white person in Canada after the way white people treated me like shit in that country. If I didn't even think them fucking white at all in Canada, or would an American treat me like shit? I'm not quite sure. After Canadians treating me like shit, it was absolute garbage. And then they look at the P words and N words around them, like not quite sure why they didn't give my white skin fucking more money than fucking barely anything at all. They look at my white skin as a white-skinned person themselves, and they're not sure how they couldn't give me a government paycheck like they're some piece of shit with no fucking brains like a fucking monkey. Right? So, you bring back slavery because white people only exist in Arabic countries, like in the Middle East, in the Arabian Peninsula. They exist in Asia, and they also exist in European Union countries. I'm not sure about Australia or New Zealand. I don't really know. I've never tried that one out. And I'd be horrified if it was like Canada, and white people couldn't even fucking keep their skin looking white at all around other white people, you know what I'm saying? Because it might just be that. Chinese, I think, are the whitest people on planet Earth, Props to them, respect to them. And I need to see them bring back African slavery. I need to see all black people in America made a fucking slave again. And you can justify that, not even because black people have ruined my life, possibly, in many ways, much like Indian company owners have ruined my life and starved me of my own food and children and a property and a car to drive and a first world country life. And they think that's funny, right? Until their skin gets scraped off and they get made into a fucking slave. Every single one of them. That's not hard to do. I'm not talking about people from Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, or Sri Lanka. They never bothered me in life. But Indian people, they should be a fucking slave for the fucking Chinese. And that's what they're asking for, trying to compete with Chinese people as a non-violent person with no fucking military, trying to pretend they should overpopulate and try to fight the Chinese in some way, without actually fist fighting them or physically fighting them or picking up a machine gun of any kind, right? And the Indian people are then just some bum fucking shithead who shits their pants about curry and doesn't eat much else, who should be a fucking slave. Yeah, like fucking black people were in the 1800s. And since black people are then cornered with their fucking African third world countries, they don't build into a first world country because they're a fucking brain dead shithead. They sit around fucking America pretending they're black and they're better than everybody else, causing public disturbances, assaulting people in public because they're black, causing public shootings because they're black. They're an African American. They kind of call themselves an NIGGA or whatever the fuck. Shit's not actually an N-word. So bring back slavery, right? If I can't sit at home with a fucking government paycheck, bring back slavery of fucking N-words. Nigger do I call them? I don't know. I used to be multicultural. Black people have treated me like shit in Canada, while white people just stood around and fucking allowed them to. Then treated me like shit as well, right? In a first world country, that's how many times my human rights were fucking violated. Isn't that disgusting? Well, it's the truth. One more thing that's funny about white skin and black people, Look at Michael Jackson back in the day, completely ruined African Americans for the rest of history. When he went and got surgery to get white skin, botched. He didn't even get good enough surgery. That's what Michael Jackson thought of his fucking skin color. The most popular African American black person fucking nigga attempt, whatever the fuck you call him, in all of mankind's history. He thought he should go and get surgery to ruin his fucking black skin and look like a white person with botched fucking surgery. In the year 2005, you could have got surgery to look exactly like me. Michael Jackson nearly got surgery to look exactly like me and creep me the fuck out, to be honest with you. So there you go. Black people